Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. And today we are diving into a topic that is crucial for every student out there: how to study consistently with focus. And we have all faced moments when we struggle to stay consistent and focused while studying, and often getting distracted by the smallest things. But fear not, because today we'll explore practical strategies to help you master the art of consistent, focused studying. And whether you're preparing for exams or working on long term projects, these tips will guide you towards academic success. Hello, all. I'm Kapil Gupta, founder of Study Abroad Academy. I'm on a mission to coach and mentor 100,000 high school students and help them realize the dream of studying in the best universities of the world and build happy careers for themselves. And today, I shall share not one, two, three, or four, but 11 tips to help you be consistent and focused in whatever you do. Now, this is a special podcast for the students, so let's get started. Number one, rule of inertia, or you can say rule of 5 minutes. Now, one of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to use the rule of inertia or the rule of 5 minutes, whatever you may like to call. The idea is simple: commit to studying for just 5 minutes. And once you start, inertia often takes over, and you'll find it easier to continue. This trick helps you break the initial barrier and get into the flow of studying. Now imagine this: you're sitting on your couch, scrolling through your phone, and you know you should be studying, but you just can't bring yourself to start. Now, this is where the rule of 5 minutes comes in. Set a timer for just 5 minutes and tell yourself, I'll study for just these 5 minutes. And if I still want to stop after that, I can. Allow me to share another example. Think of studying like riding a bicycle uphill. The hardest part is getting started. Once you're moving, it becomes easier to keep going. So, by telling yourself you'll study for just 5 minutes, you're giving yourself that initial push to get moving. More often than not, once you start, you'll find that you naturally continue studying beyond those 5 minutes. And to make this method even more effective, choose a specific task for those 5 minutes. Now, for example, you might decide to read the first two pages of a chapter, solve one math problem, or review a set of flashcards. Now, this specifically helps you mind focus on a small, manageable goal rather than feeling overwhelmed by the entire study session. So, by using the rule of 5 minutes, you're tricking your brain into action. It's a great way to overcome the initial resistance and inertia, making it much easier to dive into your studies and build momentum for a productive session. Now, coming to number two, there shouldn't be any distractions. Yes, distractions are the arch nemesis of focus. And in today's world, they are everywhere. From the constant ping of notifications on your mobile phone to the lure of social media and even unexpected drop ins from friends. Now imagine you're sitting down to study for an important exam. You got your books, your notes, and even your favorite snack ready. You're just about to dive into the material when your phone buzzes. It's a message from a friend, followed by another notification from Instagram. And suddenly, you find yourself scrolling through endless memes. And before you know it, an hour has passed and you haven't even opened your textbook. So, how many of you have actually gone through this? To avoid this common pitfall, create a dedicated study space that your brain associates solely with studying. Use apps like Forest to stay focused, to stay off distracting websites, and set boundaries with friends and family by letting them know your study schedule. Turn off notifications by putting your phone on airplane mode or using the do not disturb setting, and organize all your study materials in advance to prevent unnecessary interruptions. You can also use background noise to your advantage if silence is too distracting, and set a timer using the Pomodoro technique to break your study time into manageable chunks. And by following these steps, you can create a study environment that minimizes distractions and maximizes focus, making studying a productive and engaging activity. So that brings us to point number three. So that brings us to point number three: focus on systems than on goals. So, when it comes to achieving consistent study habits, focusing on systems rather than just goals can make a significant difference. Goals are important as they give you a direction, but they can sometimes seem overwhelming and distant. For instance, imagine your goal is to ace your final exams. Now, this goal can feel daunting, leading to procrastination and stress. Instead, shift your focus to the system that will help you reach that goal. A system involves daily habits and routines that are manageable and actionable. Now, let's say you create a study schedule where you dedicate 2 hours every day to studying a specific subject. Now, break down your subject into smaller, digestible topics and tackle them one by one. Use tools like planners or study apps to track your progress and stay organized. By concentrating on the system, your daily study routine, you'll find yourself making consistent progress, reducing stress, and ultimately achieving your goal without it feeling like an insurmountable task. Now, this approach turns your big goals into smaller, achievable steps and makes the journey enjoyable and manageable. And with this, we come to point number four: develop the passion for your task. Now, developing a passion can transform studying from a core into an engaging and enjoyable activity. And when you're genuinely interested in what you're learning, it becomes easier to stay focused and motivated. Start by finding aspects of the subject that intrigue you. For example, if you're studying biology, delve into fascinating topics like the mysteries of human genetics or the wonders of marine life. Connect your studies to real world applications or future career opportunities that excite you. Additionally, try to make your study sessions enjoyable. Use colorful notes, create mind maps, or watch engaging documentaries related to your subject. Surround yourself with a study environment that inspires you, be it a cozy corner in your room or a library with a view. Remember, passion can be cultivated over time by continuously seeking out the interesting and relevant aspects of your studies. And when you develop a genuine interest, your enthusiasm will drive you to study consistently and with greater focus. Point number five: celebrate little achievements because it's a powerful way to stay motivated and maintain focus while studying. Breaking down your study goals into manageable chunks allows you to recognize and appreciate the progress you are making. For instance, if you set a goal to complete a chapter or understand a difficult concept, give yourself a small reward once you accomplish it. It can be an ice cream, or you can say a small walk, or listening to your favorite music, short break, enjoying a snack, or maybe spending few minutes on a favorite activity. So acknowledging these mini milestones helps you to create positive reinforcement, making the entire study process more enjoyable. It's like giving yourself a pat on the back for every step you take. By celebrating small victories, you keep your spirits high and build momentum, which is crucial for consistent and focused studying. Remember, it's the accumulation of these small achievements that leads to significant progress over time. Yes, that brings us to point number six. Focusing is a practice. Yes, it's not an innate talent, but a skill that can be honed with consistent practice. Just as athletes train to improve their physical abilities, students can train their minds to concentrate better. Start by setting aside specific times each day dedicated solely to studying. Now, during these periods, eliminate all distractions and fully immerse yourself in your work. Now, you might begin with shorter intervals like 20 minutes or 30 minutes and gradually increase the duration as your focus improves. Incorporate techniques such as mindfulness or meditation to strengthen your ability to stay present. Understand that maintaining focus is an ongoing effort and you might occasionally get distracted. But that's normal, nothing to worry about. Start again. The key is to gently bring your attention back to your study material each time you notice your mind wandering. So, over time, with regular practice, you'll find that your ability to concentrate becomes stronger and more sustained, making your study sessions more productive and efficient. And that is what we want. That brings us to point number seven. Don't hesitate to use tools like meditation, graphotherapy. So don't shy away to because these tools help you enhance your focus and study efficiency. Meditation, for instance, can significantly improve your attention span and reduce stress, making it easier to concentrate on your studies. Even a few minutes of deep breathing or mindfulness exercises each day can help clear your mind and prepare you for focused work. Similarly, graphotherapy, which involves analyzing and improving your handwriting, can also positively impact your cognitive processes. It might sound unusual, but this practice can help improve your mental clarity and organization. The key is to be open to trying different methods and find what works best for you. But of course, connect with some experts, be it for graphotherapy or meditation. They can definitely make a difference in your life. Incorporating these tools can provide you with a solid foundation for sustained focus and better study habits, ultimately leading to more effective learning and academic success. Point number eight, chunking method, or we can simply say organize information, because it's a powerful technique for organizing information to enhance learning and retention. So instead of trying to tackle a large volume of material all at once, break it down into smaller, manageable chunks. Let's say if you are studying a chapter in a textbook, divide it into sections or subtopics and focus on mastering one topic, one chunk at a time. Now, this approach makes the material less overwhelming and helps you to understand and remember it better. Think of it like eating a big meal. It's much easier to enjoy and digest when taken in bite sized pieces. So, by consistently using the chunking method, you can improve your ability to process and retain information, making your study sessions more productive and less stressful. Point number nine, very, very important. Have fixed deadlines. It's essential for maintaining consistent focus and productivity in your studies. Deadlines create a sense of urgency and structure, helping you to stay on track and avoid procrastination. For instance, if you have a big exam in a month, break down your study schedule into weekly goals. Week 1 might be dedicated to revising the first 3 chapters, week 2 for the next 3, and so on. Set specific dates by which you aim to complete each segment of your study material. You might consider using a calendar or planner to map out your deadlines clearly. For example, if you plan to finish a project, set a deadline for researching, another for drafting, and a final one for editing. This way, you're not overwhelmed by the entire task at once. Now, having these smaller fixed deadlines can keep you motivated and provide a clear path to achieving your larger goals. And by adhering to these deadlines, you develop discipline and ensure that your study sessions are both effective and efficient. Point number 10, interlink the topics. Now, this is a powerful technique that helps deepen your understanding and retention of study material. By connecting new information to what you already know, you create a web of knowledge that makes learning more intuitive and less overwhelming. Let's say if you are studying biology and you come across the topic of photosynthesis, try to connect it what you have learned in chemistry about chemical reactions and in environmental science about the importance of plants and ecosystems. Now, an effective way to interlink topics is by using concept maps. Suppose you're preparing for a history exam and you learned about different historical events. Create a concept map where you link events chronologically and thematically. For instance, connect the Industrial Revolution to the advancements in technology, then link that to the social changes that followed. Now, this method not only helps you see the bigger picture, but also makes it easier to recall interconnected information during exams. Now, let me give you another example, and it could be like maths. When studying calculus, related to its applications in physics. Now, if you're learning about derivatives, consider how they apply to velocity and acceleration. Now, by continuously finding and drawing these connections, you make your study sessions more engaging and meaningful. This approach turns your learning into a cohesive story rather than isolated facts, enhancing your overall comprehension and making the information stick longer. And coming to the last one, very important because now you've studied everything. So this point now makes sense. Recollect versus revise. Now, recollecting versus revising is a crucial distinction to understand for effective studying. While revising involves going over the material again and again, recollecting focuses on actively trying to remember what you've learned without looking at your notes. Now, this practice strengthens your memory and helps you identify gaps in your understanding. So, to practice recollection, try the closed book method. For example, after reading a chapter in your biology textbook about cell structure, close the book and write down everything you can remember about the topic. Draw diagrams of the cell, label the parts, and explain their functions in your own words. Then check your notes to see what you missed. Now, this active recall helps cement the information in your memory far better than passive rereading. Now, another effective technique is to use flashcards. Create them for important concepts or definitions and test yourself regularly. For example, if you're studying vocabulary for a language exam, write the word on one side of the card and the definition on the other. Try to recall the definition without flipping the card. This method forces your brain to retrieve information actively, reinforcing your memory. Now, to practice revising effectively. Organize your notes and summarize each topic in a clear, concise manner. Go over these summaries periodically to keep the information fresh. Let's say if you're preparing for a history test, create a timeline of events and revisit it every few days. This constant review helps solidify your understanding and keeps the information accessible. Incorporate both recollecting and revising into your study routine. Spend time actively recalling information and then periodically revise to ensure that it remains fresh. This balanced approach not only improves retention but also builds confidence in your ability to retrieve and apply the information when needed, such as during exams or practical applications. So, they were the 11 tips. So, in conclusion, studying consistently with focus is a skill that can be developed with the right strategies and mindset. By implementing these steps, you can create a productive study routine that keeps you engaged and motivated. Remember, consistency and focus are the keys to academic success. So, start small, eliminate distractions, develop passion, and celebrate your achievements along the way. So, if you have questions, suggestions, or just want to say hello, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help and engage in meaningful conversations with you. There's a link in the description of the podcast that can help you connect with me. And if you found value in the podcast, help us reach more listeners by sharing with your friends, family, and colleagues who might benefit from our discussions. Thank you for listening to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. Today, let's embark on a journey of consistent, focused learning. Until next time, stay focused and keep learning.